I found my brother's wedding ring in my bedroom drawer. Not his bedroom, mine, the one I helped him pick out 3 years ago, the one with the inscription, "Forever starts today." It was just sitting there, under Sarah's jewelry box. Let me back up, because you need to understand what we had before it all turned to ash. Marcus wasn't just my little brother. He was my partner, you know? We built Brothers Custom Cycles together in Austin. Started from nothing in a garage off East 6th Street. I'm Jake, 34, and Marcus was 31. After our dad left when I was 12 and Marcus was 9, I promised Mom I'd look after him. Taught him to ride a bike, taught him to throw a punch, taught him everything. We were a unit, unbreakable. I met Sarah 5 years ago at this charity bike rally for veterans. She had these green eyes that they caught the sunlight different, you know? 29, worked in event planning, had this laugh that made you want to keeps, making jokes just to hear it again. Marcus was my best man at the wedding. He insisted on planning the entire bachelor party, every detail. Said it was his duty as little brother. And here's the thing. I wanted Sarah and Marcus to be close. Isn't that messed up? I actively encouraged it. Sunday dinners at our place, road trips to Fredericksburg for wine tasting, the three of us at every Longhorns game. They got along so well, and I felt like I'd built this perfect little family, you know? The family we never really had growing up. Sarah even started working at the shop doing our books. Marcus suggested it, said we needed someone we could trust with the finances. She'd be there every day, surrounded by the smell of motor oil and leather, laughing with the guys, keeping everything organized. And then she started working late, every Thursday, like clockwork. She'd text me around 5 saying she needed to finish reconciling accounts or whatever, wouldn't be home until 11. Marcus backed her up, said the books were a mess and she was doing us a huge favor cleaning everything up. So I'd order takeout, watch whatever game was on, wait for her to come home exhausted and kiss me before falling asleep. The small stuff started around month 3 of those Thursday nights. Sarah's phone was always face down on the table. Always. She'd shower the second she got home from the shop, even though she'd just been sitting at a desk. Marcus suddenly couldn't do our Saturday morning rides anymore, said he was seeing someone but didn't want to talk about it yet. Then I saw the mark on Sarah's neck, purple and fresh. She barely flinched when I asked about it, just laughed and said her curling iron got her, showed me the burn cream she'd bought. I believed her, or maybe I just needed to believe her. Found receipts in her purse a week later while looking for grocery money. Motel 6 off Interstate 35, 3 different dates. When I asked her about it, she didn't even hesitate. Said her sister, Emma, was going through a rough divorce, needed a cheap place to stay between apartments, and Sarah was helping her pay for it. I'd never met Emma. She lived in Dallas, supposedly, and I made excuses for Sarah in my own head. But then I stayed late at the shop one Thursday. Had this custom paint job for a 68 Panhead that I wanted to finish, lost track of time. Around 7 p.m., Sarah texted that she was working late, but the shop was dark, except for my bay in the back. The office was empty, computer off, her coffee cup from the morning still sitting there cold. I pulled up our security footage just to check, you know. Went back through the previous Thursdays, and there it was. Every single Thursday, Sarah and Marcus left together at 6 p.m. sharp. Got into my truck, the one Marcus had been borrowing for a few weeks because his was supposedly in the shop, and they'd drive off. I followed them the next Thursday, sat in my old Bronco we kept for parts runs, and waited across the street. 6 p.m., right on schedule, they walked out together. Sarah's hand brushed his arm. Just casual, you know, but it lingered. They got in my truck, and I followed at a distance down Interstate 35. They pulled into a roadside inn near Round Rock. Not even a nice place. One of those motels with the outdoor corridors and rooms that smell like cigarettes and broken promises. I watched Marcus get out, look around, then Sarah followed. They went to room 147. I know because I sat there in that parking lot for 2 hours, staring at that number. Never knocked on the door, never confronted them, just sat there, making excuses still. Maybe they were planning a surprise party. Maybe Sarah's sister really was in there and Marcus was helping. Maybe I was losing my mind. Drove home, Pretended to be asleep when Sarah came in at 11. She kissed my forehead, whispered, "I love you," and I just lay there swallowing glass. Then Mom got sick. Stage 4, pancreatic cancer. Doctor said maybe 3 months. This was 2 weeks after the motel incident, and suddenly everything else had to wait. Mom made me promise at her bedside, gripped my hand with what little strength she had left, and said, "Keep the family together, Jake. Watch over your brother. You boys are all each other has." How could I investigate further? How could I tear apart our family while Mom was dying? So the 3 of us visited her every Sunday at the hospice center. Mom would smile, her skin paper thin and yellow, and say, "My boys and my daughter. I'm so blessed." Every word was like swallowing razor blades, but I kept my mouth shut. For Mom, for her peace, she passed on a Tuesday morning in April. Died holding both our hands, Marcus on one side, me on the other. Sarah stood at the foot of the bed, crying. I found the shoebox 3 days later while cleaning out Mom's apartment. Old Nike box, rubber band around it, tucked in the back of her closet under some blankets. Inside were letters, dozens of them, in Marcus's handwriting. He'd been writing to Mom for 8 months, confessing everything. The affair started 6 months into my marriage. At my own bachelor party, actually. They'd gotten drunk. One thing led to another, and it never stopped. He was tormented, couldn't sleep, wanted to end it but couldn't stay away from her, begged Mom for advice over and over. Mom's responses were there too, written on floral stationery in her shaky handwriting. "Not yet, Marcus. Your brother needs you both right now. Wait until I'm gone." She was protecting me. The whole time I thought I was protecting her, she was carrying this secret to save me the pain while she was still alive. The last letter was dated 1 week before she died. "Marcus, you need to end this. Choose your brother. Family's all we have. Jake has been your keeper since you were 9 years old. Don't destroy him." But there was one more envelope, addressed to me in Mom's handwriting. "To be opened when you find out." I stood there in her empty apartment, boxes everywhere, her smell still in the air, and I couldn't open it yet, because first I had to go home. Drove back from Mom's place around 2 p.m. on a Wednesday, found Marcus's truck in my driveway on a Wednesday afternoon when he was supposed to be at the shop, used my key, opened the door, silent. The house was quiet, except for sounds from upstairs, from my bedroom. The bedroom Sarah and I had painted together 3 years ago, the one with photos of our wedding day on the dresser. I didn't go upstairs, couldn't make my legs move, just stood at the bottom of those stairs while every good memory I had rewrote itself in real time. Marcus's wedding toast about finding your soulmate? Was he already sleeping with her then? That time Sarah wore cologne that smelled like Marcus and said she accidentally grabbed the wrong bottle at the store. The family dinners where they'd sit across from each other and I'd think how lucky I was? All of it burning up. All of it poison now. I walked back outside, quiet as I came in. Went to Marcus's truck and the door was unlocked. Found his registration, insurance papers, and a folder on the passenger seat. Inside were apartment lease applications for a 2-bedroom in South Austin. Both their names. Move-in date, 2 weeks after Mom's funeral. They weren't just having an affair. They were planning an exit strategy, a whole future together. While I was grieving our mother, they were shopping for apartments. I took photos of everything with my phone, got back in my Bronco and drove away. They never even knew I was there. Pulled over at a gas station and checked our joint bank account on my phone. Sarah had been making transfers. Small ones I never noticed. 200 here, 300 there, always to her personal account. Started 7 months ago. Total amount, $14,800. She wasn't just taking my wife. She was funding their future with my money. That night, I sat alone in a Motel 6. Yeah, the irony wasn't lost on me. And finally opened Mom's letter. Her handwriting was shaky but clear. "Jake, I know you'll feel like you've lost everything. Your wife, your brother, your family, your business. But you haven't lost yourself. And you haven't lost me. I'm still with you even now. Forgive them eventually. Not for them, but for you. You're the strong one. You've always been the strong one. I'm sorry I couldn't protect you from this. I just wanted a few more months of seeing my family whole before I left. I love you. Be strong, Mom." I filed for divorce the next and whole morning, sent Marcus one text. "Mom knew, I know, we're done." Didn't ask for explanations, didn't allow confrontation, just presented the evidence to my lawyer and started the process. Bought out Marcus's half of the business using the affair evidence and financial fraud as leverage. He couldn't fight it, not with what I had. Sarah called 47 times that first week. I counted, never answered once. Marcus showed up at the shop 2 weeks later and I'd already changed the locks. He stood outside for 20 minutes. I watched him from the office window and then he just left. Here's the thing nobody tells you about betrayal. You don't just lose the people. You lose every memory. Every moment you thought was real becomes suspect. Was anything true? Did he ever actually love me as a brother? Did she ever actually love me as a husband? Or was I just the obstacle between them the whole time? And here's the really messed up part. They didn't even end up together. Found out through mutual friends about 3 months after the divorce was finalized. Sarah and Marcus lasted exactly 12 weeks before imploding. Turns out the thrill was the secrecy, the forbidden nature of it, without me to betray, without the risk and the sneaking around. They had nothing. All that destruction for nothing. I still run the shop. Changed the name from Brothers Custom Cycles to just Custom Cycles. Removed every photo of us from the walls, painted over the mural Marcus did in the break room. It's like he never existed, but every Thursday at 6 p.m., I still glance at the door. Some part of my brain still expects them to walk in together, expects Sarah to kiss me and Marcus to crack some stupid joke. 3 years later, and my body still has that muscle memory of when I thought everything was good. The worst part? Some Thursdays I miss them. Both of them. How messed up is that? They destroyed everything, took everything, and some broken part of me still misses Sunday dinners and road trips and feeling like I had a family. Mom said I'm the strong one. But strong people don't cry in empty motorcycle shops at 6 p.m. on Thursdays, do they? Maybe they do.